Murray would be the first one on here. Let's go through contacting him. That's amazing. You see just what happened? I still got a cough. So that was everything dropping whenever I tried to set everything up. What we're gonna do, you guys will see that this is the DDT shirt. It's a windbreaker kind of. They have these on sale. It is the it has been a great week, guys. What's up, Betty? Or Mikey? Kind of ramble here a little bit at the beginning. I got a question today on YouTube asking why I don't do any live videos, because I do that membership live on YouTube, and they want me to start doing more live videos on YouTube. And I got close to 9,000 followers on there, so something I might be looking into. What's up, Chino? Guys, at the beginning here, I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit of stuff on what happened, and then Mr. Jeff Kessler is going to come on here in a minute and talk about some things. Today is the launch of the DDT, and what I wanted to talk about is I posted a lot of videos this morning of all different ages swinging that DDT, and it kind of flooded the market, mainly because we believe in what Short Porch put out here, and how it's going to change everything. We have swung with Senior Softball Bat Reviews, guys. We have swung a lot of bats. It is actually, yes, Erica, the you can actually go buy the DDT right now. It's actually been on the website. Go to the website, and it is for sale. You guys can jump on over there. And what we wanted to do, and guys, this has been worked on for a long time, and it just physically working on it, mentally about 10 years, physically about 6 months. Me and Jeff talked about it the other day. About 6 months getting it. We didn't have to do too much to it because of what Short Porch does. It was thought about. It was an idea that came around, and with a lot of ideas. Here's what happens whenever you start swinging a lot of bats. You always look into, and Jeff kind of, I really wasn't that guy that went to school to be an engineer. I actually was interested in bats in my 20s. I would experiment with things. I would sand barrel downs. I would cut bats open. I would look at weight distribution. Bill Blake was a part of that back in my 20s, where I would just watch him whenever he would actually do little things to bats, to actually experiment with them and tell whoever he was playing with to actually how to improve a bat. I think Billy Blake was the leading guy in end loads back in the day, about dense mass on the end. What I did later on is I created a love for that. I actually created, if we can do things to these bats out there to make them a little bit top tier, top performing, that would be all the greater. I started, later on, I started going down different pathways on how to better bats, especially when the composite bats came around. I was around with the double wall DeMarini back in the day. When I started doing senior softball bat reviews, I started cutting bats open. I started looking at different things to see how things made. And there's little things that I would do to the bat, put tape on the connection, make it a little bit heavier in that area. This is one of the little things, pulling end plugs out and distributing the weight on that end plug. So that's how I learned a lot of this. That's how come when you have at your fingertips a lot of different material bats that you can swing, and kind of made my whenever I did my reviews, it actually helped me whenever I was doing my reviews, because I can actually tell you why the bat sucked and what you can do to better the bat. And I would talk about dense mass, and I talked about some companies out there that put too much mass in the end and make that big old plug in the end, and you're taking away the flex in the barrel. So I was doing this 15 years ago, not really knowing where I was going to go right now. So what I kind of, and it was a part of Senior Softball Bat Reviews that was doing this too, is, we would on the two-piece bats, we kind of would bounce ideas off of each other and just talk about, when we go have breakfast after we would do a review, we'd actually talk about, what if this happened here on a bat? Well, there was this idea that we came up with years ago about a dual distribution, helping the barrel flex a little bit more, because in theory, or in as an engineer mind, if you're thinking that way, you would say, hey, if there was mass here and there was mass here, what kind of barrel flex would you get, And then nobody was actually going in that direction. There were two-piece bats made, which I really didn't think later on. There was a real true two-piece, and then there was a not-so-true two-piece where it just looked like just one connection. It was fused in, and basically you didn't get no benefit from that two-piece because it really wasn't a two-piece. There were people calling out or saying that their bat was a mid-load. We would actually cut those bats open, and no, they weren't a mid-load, because they actually, what they did was just go lighter on the end weight and go heavier on the hand weight, a little bit more than a balance, and they would call it a mid-load, and it didn't have any weight there. So this has been going on for a long time, years. And then I got to meet Christian and Jeff at a tournament about 2 years ago, and I talked to them a little bit. And the more I talked to them, the more I knew these guys knew what they were talking about. And they kind of thought along the line of what I thought for 15 years, weight distribution. And they were basically talking to me, not knowing that it was a job interview 2 years later, that I would start working for these people. Great people, great guys. But for me to give up this information 2 years ago, you knew I really had a lot of respect for them, because I'd not given up any information for 15 years about this idea, this idea that we had. And whenever we were in the parking lot, it was cold, and we were in the parking lot in Florida 2 years ago. They had a two-piece bat with them. I think it was the Hangman, and I grabbed it from them, and it was new. It hadn't even been out yet. And I kind of looked at them and I said, guys, I'm going to give you something here, because you guys are pretty damn intelligent when I'm talking to you, and you know what I'm talking about. And I took that Hangman and I said, what if you guys put weight in this connection right here? Not necessarily in this area, but what if you guys put weight in here? You have, let's say, and I actually went to the detail. Let's say you had 3 ounces here. You took an ounce out of here, made it 2 ounces, and put an ounce right in here. What you're going to get is a better trampoline effect in this area right here. So you're going to get that trampoline effect in that barrel, and it's going to help. Not only that, I think you're fluid when you're swinging the bat. And if you guys have swung this bat, you'll know what I'm talking about, because my guys have swung it. And that's the feedback that I get from them is your swing is going to be more fluid. It's not going to be just you swinging a big mass on the end of that bat and you getting kind of a little herky jerky. You're going to have better control of it. That's what we got. Okay. So whenever I was talking to them and I said, you guys ever thought about putting, you know, a little bit of weight right here on a bat? That's something you might think of. And they kind of blew me off. It was like, I was like, okay, I'm not going to talk about, I'm not going to push that idea, because we were talking about other things. We were talking about the hangman, and I actually think I got a hangman from them, and they were talking about the flexi handle, and then they started going back and talking about, well, if you added the weight, you know, in this area right here, it's like a dual distribution of weight. Nobody's ever tried it. Nobody's ever actually tried to do anything like that. What kind of handle flex would you have? I said, well, you would have to have it like a stiffer handle, because you'd be pushing that mass. So anytime that you have, guys, big mass on the endless, like the Brandon Murray, you've got to have that stiff handle. That way you're not going to flex it too much on you, 40, 45, 50. Anybody with higher bat speed will know what I'm talking about. So that was it. 2 years later, I get hired. They offer me a position. I come along, and then on the way to Vegas last year, they sent me a diagram of what a computer generated diagram of what they were talking about. And it was kind of like a 3D image of it, and you can turn it. And I go, what is this? And he goes, that's that connection you were talking about. We're thinking about building that bat for you. And I'm like, holy shit, y'all guys remember that? And then boom, they put the wheels in turn. They did a 3D image of it. They sent it over to China. China did what they call what they did is the diagram of it. They did a form, so they can pour that weight in that form and make that diagram. They stuck it in that cone. They stuck it in here, and then they got a few of them. We started testing them 6 months ago, guys. Right when we picked it up, it was like nothing you've ever actually swung before. The one thing that we did get, and Jeff will come up, and we're going to talk about this in a minute on transfer of energy. We're going to talk about a lot of things, guys, when it comes to this bat. I don't want to be on here for no hour. This is a launch. The bat is right now for sale up on Porch website. Guys, get on there and order you one. I'm going to go through weights on these bats. The biggest thing that you guys have to understand is this is new. Nobody has attempted to try this. Nobody has attempted to get out there and start doing this, because especially with Kevlar, because Kevlar reacts different when it comes to, and I hope I can, Kevlar reacts different when it comes to you apply it to, right? Because you're going to have numbers, compression numbers that are a little off. So get Jeff on here. That's him requesting to get on right now. And then there he is. Is it working?
What's up, my man?
Can you see me?
No, I can't see you.
See, I can see
That's all right.
y'all are actually up here pretty good. I kind of got through. Erica, how you doing?
I'm good.
Leslie?
How are you?
I'm doing
He's on
good.
here, but he's not on there.
Yeah, so like that every time.
I wonder if we can try it on the phone. You know.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I got a little bit of delay. So what I got through was basically talking to you guys 2 years ago, and then you guys putting this idea on the way to Vegas on pen and paper, sent it to me, and I'm looking at it like I don't even know what I'm looking at right here. And then he said, that's your idea that you told us 2 years ago, putting a dual distribution. Yeah, everybody says we're looking good. So and then you putting it out there, and actually I thought it was going to take years for this actually to come to where we can actually start doing any kind of testing on it. And you had it pretty quick within 3 weeks. Actually, I think when we got back from Vegas 3 weeks later, you actually had some prototypes for us to swing. And then you sent it
Well,
back to us.
I think what you were getting at earlier is we did do the prototype with a 3D printer,
Yeah,
the OG prototype, and we were able to make all that happen inside of probably, what, 4 weeks?
yeah,
And when we come back from Vegas, we had the first demo pretty soon, right?
yeah. We
Yeah.
got back. And then we could like that's something we teased on it a little bit too after, going forward, and like, you guys got to see what's coming. You guys got to see what's coming. And then finally it's here. And guys, you got to understand, we've been preaching we've been preaching about this day one, about a movement. This is going to be something, and this is actually what the movement is. It's actually not reinventing the wheel, actually taking high tech stuff and applying it to actually better make the softball world a lot better, either with seniors, USSSA, fast pitch, then you got your ASA that's in there too, and just pushing that envelope that we've been doing since day one. And this is just one of the many things that are going to go on with the next 2 years, because we have so much on the plate that is going forward. That's actually going to make that's going to make the product really good. And the introduction of Kevlar at the end of the year last year, and then the way it's working right now is phenomenal. I think you're getting different variants, and compression levels, and then what I keep telling everybody, guys, this is something that's new to us. So we're going to try to answer your questions tonight, where it's something that's never been accomplished. It's something that we're testing as we're going, about numbers. Like you said that's the other day, about somebody was asking about if it has a 17.7 on the end, like the 27 does, the 27 ounce, like a 17.7 on the end, that's going to be like a sledge. And you're like, no, it's not going to feel like a sledge.
Dave, that, I'll give, my quick run through of the bat. I know I talked a little bit about it earlier this week, but it's mid-loaded and it's end-loaded. So when you swing, you pick up acceleration. So it feels heavier, but you swing it faster. Because it's loaded on both sides, you keep all the energy in the barrel. So you get no vibration and better trampoline effect. It's a very thoughtful design. And sometimes when you dream stuff up or you have an idea, this is how everything is built in this country, from Microsoft to Google, and it's no different in bats or balls. It was an idea that you thought of, and we put it to pen and paper. You've seen it in the drawing. We brought it to life with a 3D printer, and now here it is, and it is a badass bat, and we're thankful to have it, and this will be around for years. This technology will be around in bats for years to come. So
yeah. That's what a lot of people are asking about. Are y'all going to change it? Well, we already talked about this a couple of days ago. The paint job will change. That's the only thing that will change on it. This next, you come up with something the other day,
yeah,
about a different color barrel. So it's not going to change much just in a paint job, but we will tell you what we did. A lot of people are asking, and here's another question too. A lot of people are asking about will it be a tackified barrel? Now maybe we talked about this. We don't know if we are or not.
yeah.
There tends to be, and you can talk about this a little bit too.
Yeah, I sure will. So the everybody, SpinTech with our company is real big right now. SpinTech is adding 0.3 to 0.4 ounces to the barrel, and with the DDT being weighted on both sides right now, it's a weight issue with the 25 ounces. Why we haven't put it on this bat. When we roll out the 221 Nation bat that people seen with the DDT, it did not come in a 25 ounce. And obviously, in our models for senior softball, 25 ounce is a bat you can't lose there. And so right now we don't have a SpinTech DDT, but that doesn't mean that we won't be able to get the bat lighter and bring it out in the future. We're just not there yet because of the added weight and the way the technology is. So So no spin tech in these yet, but I'll tell you, Leslie did a great job with the design, the colors, the numbers on it. Everything about the bat and the tapered knob, the orange knob. It looks phenomenal. She did a great job. And Miss Erica already in the last 20 minutes, I know we've sold at least 100 DDTs. So she's going to be jumping out of here real soon, and we're going to be getting these in people's hands across the country.
Man, that's amazing that we can take something like this. And I never thought it would get here this fast on what we're doing right now. There was something you said. A lot of people are talking about, well, you can actually put out a grip spin without the 25. Now, there's something you talked about and you wanted us to test when we did testing on, is you sent us some 25s and the performance you're getting on a 25 because of the weight distribution. Talk about that a little bit too, about the 25 being a great performing.
Yeah,
So I don't think
and that there's only certain models where, and again, we're not 25-ounce people. A lot of us guys in here swing heavier bats. When you look at Allen or myself or Clem, we're 27, 28, or Brandon Murray, 29 guys, and you get great performance out of them. There's only certain bats, big hitters who can hit the ball, in the 400s. There's only certain models you can go down in a 25-ounce in. And the 1-ounce Brandon Murray with our old tech would do it because of the mass. The DDT will do that. You can go down, and in any ounce you can get insane power from it because of the mass, the way it's made with the mid load and end load. So as you drop down weight, you can still be a power bat, and you don't see that in every bat. And that's one always excites me when we make a model that will perform like that in a 25-ounce.
Yeah.
And as you know, some 25 ounces just won't get it done when it comes to 350 plus shots. Now, we're not talking about gappers or base hitters. I'm talking about, stadium home runs.
Yeah, because you have two weights working for you when you have that 25, so it's actually better than your standard 25.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So and the 26 ounce is going to perform the way a 27 and 28 would normally perform for the big hitters. So the 26 ounce hitters, I wouldn't suggest go down. What I'm telling you is you're going to get the performance like a heavier bat would. And most guys who have hit in stadiums, it's extremely hard even to hit a ball out of stadiums with 26-ounce bats. Well, you can do it in this model. If you're a stadium hitter, I promise you, you need to be a 27, 28 guy to hit the ball over 400 a lot of times. And but I know that's not normal, and people aren't looking for stadium type shots. But this is just what we know and what we see.
No, one thing you said the other day too, and I want to kind of touch everything that we talked about the other day, was mush balls.
Yes.
For mush balls, because that's the question I get a lot from people, is oversized balls and mush balls. Is this bat good for that? And we talked about this, but just give everybody what we talked about.
Definitely, that's another thing during the summer. Now, we know balls are harder right now. It's cold, and you can hit a lot of lower performing balls or lower tier balls. So when it gets into summer and you play in these tournaments that hit cheaper synthetic balls, not high quality, nothing that we make personally at Short Porch, because our balls are, all composite and high performing. So when you get into summer and you have to go play these tournaments, we get a lot of calls on what bat should I use. We're hitting smush balls. It's 100 degrees. It's Texas, California, Florida. And again, typically we would say you need the bat with the most mass on the end, the 1-ounce. Well, you take the DDT, and when it gets into summer, if you play somewhere like, not to call out SSUSA, but they were hitting synthetic, pretty Baden I would call lower tier balls. And a bat like this with the mass would really, really help you hit those balls during the summer because of how soft they get. And I'm sure y'all have seen the same thing with senior softball bat reviews over the years.
I'll definitely be down here in Texas. And I would get a lot of people asking me about they're in some South America, right? Or other places where they do hit that bigger ball. What best bat? And I was talking about mass. You got to have big mass on the end. So what you're having with this bat is a dual distribution of mass that actually makes that barrel perform for you better. So that would be a great idea for either hitting. If you go into a tournament, definitely, John said even the bait balls that are out there right now, ideal for this bat because you have dual distribution and mass when you're swinging it. A lot of people are asking about handle flex. What kind of handle flex we have on there? I already know, but I want you to kind of go into detail.
Yeah, and you know, all the tech is in the barrel on this thing. It has a Kevlar handle. And the Kevlar handle is extremely light, and it is zero flex. And the DDT design absorbs any miss hit, so you get no vibration, right, Dave? Y'all hit it, zero vibration. And when we say zero vibration, we mean zero.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, definitely no, and that's what I like about it. I'm telling you guys, this bat swings like no other bat you actually going to pick up or ever have picked up because it's going to be so. The biggest thing we get feedback from this, and you heard this too, is the fluid, how fluid it is coming through the zone and how quick it gets through the zone. So you're going to have a fluid movement that is through. Look at y'all. You got to have a fluid movement through that zone where whenever guys would come down and hit with me, I'd give them the bat, they would swing it, and it said it swings just so nice for me, and it goes through the zone. The one thing we got too, and you guys have hit this bat, is you tend to hit balls up to center or right field with authority because if you guys know, a lot of guys need that torque and need that open up the hips to get a long ball to the power alley. You're just laying wood on it out there, and that dual distribution actually helps that barrel flex when you're hitting up the middle or the right center.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The mass on the end for for everybody is it's gonna really help, and the DDT with the barrel flex like we talked about, it's all the story. The barrel's gonna do the work for you. But as you see, I brought Christian Allen here. I'm gonna let Christian was there when we did the design riding to Vegas, so I'm going to get his take on how it kind of all unfolded. I know Dave gave his take on it, but Christian was there and how it all came to life. So, man, what do you think about that?
It just definitely outperforms what we thought it would do.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
We were riding to Vegas and talking about it for 30 hours trying to figure out how to pull it off and kept going back and forth. We knew it'd be good. We just didn't know how good, and it's exceeded expectations. I like the fact that it's a little more durable, but it's not so durable that older guys can't swing it. So it's holding up better for the young guys who like to get used to a bat, and then it's getting there quick enough that the older guys can go out there and take some BP when they, all these guys pretty much play in these leagues and hit all the time, all the guys I know out in Arizona and all. So they'll be able to have a bat that they can hit, and then it just gets, we were just out there in the cage hitting one that had some swings on it, and David Yusbick was like, what, 108?
108, 109.
108, 109, and he's 40-year-old ex-conference player. He's a young guy, and it's sounding good, but it's, you know what I'm saying, it's not getting super soft real quick, but it's getting good enough. It's just performing. It doesn't matter. It's just crazy. He pulled it off. He was in the passenger seat figuring it out for 30 hours. He had all the time he needed.
Guys, and that's the thing. We're talking about higher performance with a harder barrel. So lower bat speed guys can pick it up and get more performance, higher performance than they've ever seen out of 225 compression. And that has everything to do with the technology. And the 225 compression with the technology allows these guys to hit it also. So we come across the board with a bat that the 70-year-olds can put 120 swings on and get super high performance. And the 40s guys have no problems going to war with a model that they love. And that's what you're seeing, right, Alan?
Yes.
And Alan's a two-piece guy.
I love it. I love
So,
it, love it, love it.
Finally, another
You know.
two-piece back.
and not to scare people off from when they talk about the mass. The weighting in the hands and the barrel is not far off from a lot of typical short porch models, correct, Dave?
Yeah, I would say a little bit heavier within 2/10, 3/10 of an ounce, but nothing where you're going to pick it up and go, no, that's too heavy. I think the way the weight is just the weight distribution in that barrel,
Yeah.
you might put it on a scale. And we talked about this a little bit the other day, was if you put it on a scale, it's going to mess up the numbers. Not really, but the number is going to be a little elevated, but don't make that decision to drop down. Or if you do, you're still going to get great performance because your bat speed's going to go up. So I'm saying, like, just stay with it. You know, you're going to have a fluid. It's not going to be like a sledge. But what we got here was, guys, if you want to drop down to a 25, and y'all, I was swinging a 25 the other day in that video, and I'm hurt. And I was swinging, I hit one probably 350, 360, you know, with a 44, 375 compression ball, short porch ball. And I'm getting that performance on that ball. And I'm like, you got, and I'm telling the guys, that's even a 25 ounce. I think you're right 100% when you talk about you. Go ahead.
And that's what we seen too. Allen in Tampa, he had the furthest ball I ever seen hit with a 25-ounce bat. And I don't even know if he thought he'd make contact with it. So, right? I mean, he picked up the 25-ounce bat. He hit one into an oak tree somewhere. It was so far. I mean, you couldn't see that far. It was incredible. And that's what we see across the board with the bat, that it works at all the weights. And the 28 ounce for the 28-ounce guys, it feels phenomenal, right?
It feels great. My favorite thing about the bat is how fast it comes through the zone.
Yeah, you'll swing it faster. So when that's one thing I want to keep going back to with the mid load and the end load. When you swing it, you're going to come through the zone faster. So don't be so in tune to go down from your normal ounce because of the mass on the end, because your bat speed's going to be a little faster. So it'll even out. It evens out, you know. So that's what we're seeing.
It's still,
Well, especially with a 12-inch too. They always say a 12-inch comes to the zone a little bit faster, and that is our 12-inch bat too, which it tapers off at that 12-inch mark. But what you tend to get with a 12-inch, I've always said this, where a 12-inch will outperform a 13-inch when you have two of the bats that are comparable to each other because it comes through the zone faster.
That's right.
So you'll get that whip at the end of it. We get that with this bat. And if I want to go up the middle, if I want to slap opposite glove hand side of the pitcher, I've got video of me doing that the whole time the other day, and we'll have video next week of us doing it too. You get a little bit better oomph on that barrel because of the dual distribution in that weight, in that connection above.
That's what I was talking about the other night with you and Murray. This is a perfect example of force equals mass times acceleration.
Yeah.
So with that being such a simple idea, this is a great example of that. And everything about that is what makes this bat great in the simplest terms, right? And we love it, man. We're super excited about it. These will resurface, and this one will resurface in a different paint job in 6 weeks, because you won't be able to find these in about a week. Alan's going to get a DDT version paint job also with a little longer barrel, and y'all will be able to find these throughout the season at Short Porch. But Dave, this was a freaking great idea, my man. A great idea. We thank you for it, and we're excited
that's an idea, Jeff, that Short Porch developed, because you can't just you can come up with ideas all you want, but when you guys brought this to reality, brought this to life, I was excited about it. And then when you guys got it in my hands and everybody else's hands, Alan got one too, and then we started hitting it. Alan was contacting me. I was talking to Alan, and we're saying, dude, you're on to something. This is something that's pretty badass. But it ain't about me. It's just something that was an idea. Y'all guys built it on the way to Vegas. and then Leslie had something to do with it too. So it's a combination of what Short Porch is doing going forward, because I couldn't have done this by myself. But for Short Porch is doing going forward, and all the new tech we got coming out in 2025 and 2026.
Well, you know, it's like we always say, you know, here we have the people. We have the people to do all sorts of cool things, and that's what's fun for us is all the innovation that is going on with the company, and across our brands, from baseballs to softballs to golf balls to bats and to baseball bats, and all the innovation it's just really, really fun. And we have the people to bring things to life, and this is a great example of that. And I know Christian has been in here ecstatic about some of the future things we have coming up, but this is one. It's been around just what, 6 months now. It's been around 6 months, and it feels like it's old. It feels like it's an old technology to us because we're moving so fluidly through Short Porch, but nobody gets anything in the market as quick as we did this design. I think this should have been a year or two down the road, and how fast we were able to get it done is a testament to what we seen in the first prototype that Alan hit, that Christian hit.
One thing too that I want to stress to all the older guys, 40s to 60s to 70s, because of the way this technology is, that whole barrel is a sweet spot. I know people talk about it, and I know Dave has been like this before on the wig popper, and he's been like this, but this bat, from that point down there to here, that's the sweet spot because the energy never leaves the barrel. That's why you don't feel anything in the hands if you hit the cap or you hit the handle. But that barrel, I was just pitching 100 balls in the last hour, and I seen balls come off that bat in every phase of it, and it didn't affect it. It was 98, 98, 97, 96, 100. You know, the middle sweet spot, yeah, but that whole barrel,
And
you
that,
can't miss with it. It's not like a two-piece bat. Most two-piece bats in the past, the sweet spot's not very big, and if you miss it, you feel it. This bat, it's huge, and it just swings so good. And that you don't, I don't know, Dave, if y'all don't, when I've hit it in there just a little while ago, it feels like you don't even feel it when you hit it good.
That's the feedback we get. Definitely 100%. You don't feel it. Even if you watch Trey's video from the Facebook Live, and then yesterday, I put a video out of him this morning. He was turning on balls that he didn't think he hit. And then all of a sudden I'm going, look, Trey, like it's hitting the building. And he gets so much distance on balls that just didn't feel like it almost like a feather, like pow. And then that's the barrel working for you, and you get no feedback in the hands. So it's something that's new that we can talk about that a lot of people are going to experience, like the fluid whenever you're hitting it, basically putting it anywhere you want to hit it because of the way it's constructed on what you guys have done to it.
Yeah, one thing people always want to hear about too, and I'll let Alan talk into it because Alan hits the shit a lot harder than us, is durability. Y'all seen Brandon Murray hit the bat, 200 swings and 50-degree temperatures, didn't have a scratch on it. What are you seeing on durability, Alan?
Man, they're holding up great. I mean, I had one for quite some time now, and it's pushing over 300 swings with mixed balls. I hit 650s with it, 700s, 375s, and it's just holding up great.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing. We're just super excited about how much performance we're able to get with the durability because of the dual distribution technology. It was able to bring it all together and put a bat in the market that players deserve and players will love. And I think it's going to fit a lot of people's hands. I think our two-piece bats are on the move now.
Yeah.
And I know Alan texts me every week. Man, I want a DDT. When the two-piece? When the two-piece? We need two pieces. Well, we were delayed on two pieces because of the new tech that was coming. And man, it's going to be good for the rest of the year because we're going to see a lot of these models in the market, right, Dave?
See, I agree. And this is another thing too. I don't think, a lot of people understand, but you guys have just chimed in and are listening to something that we have a drop on. This is something that nobody else has done. I know that for a fact because I've swung bats for 15 years. I was into it before that on the aluminum bats for over 25 years ago, but I never have seen anything like this through the market, a true mid load, and nobody is. This is revolutionary, guys, and I'm excited about it. And I got to pinch myself every once in a while because this is something that we brought to market, with the help of everybody else,
It's come a
and
long way since
it's
the
something. It's
parking lot at
revolutionary,
Greco.
huh?
Said it's come a long way since that parking lot in Greco after the home run derby.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought you guys were ignoring me too when I was talking about it. I'm like, they don't give a shit, all right. And then when you guys surprised me and goes, this is what you're talking about. And we didn't talk about it before Vegas. You guys
Hey,
built it on the way to Vegas and sent me the diagram and goes, this is what you're talking about. I'm going, what the hell is
man.
this?
Well,
I thought you guys forgot about that shit.
in fairness, though, Jeff, after we left the parking lot, we really weren't worried about trying to configure that bat. We were worried about establishing a bat company and just taking that to the next level, as everybody knows. But after we got our feet cemented after the wig popper and we came down from that high, he started putting together the way to do it. And then the Kevlar came along, and that's when it was like a light bulb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When putting it together on the way to Vegas and figuring out how to do it was one thing, but the Kevlar, once I think the Kevlar was basically, we built a cake, and the Kevlar is the best damn icing.
Yes,
Because I think it's 10 times better than it would have been in Zop,
I
personally.
agree.
Just
Yeah.
reactionary. And he did a great job. So it was a great idea, and then he did a great job figuring out how to get the materials to work. And then when he said, hey, this Kevlar is going to work better, and it did. And it's awesome. And I'm telling you right now, from 40 to 70, you got to swing it. You got to try it.
Yeah, this is one that, lower bat speed guys put 120 on it. You don't even have to worry about putting that 120 on it. I promise you. Go out, put 120 on it. It's going to be fire. All you 50s and 40s guys, major plus. I don't care how big you are. I would just urge you to put this in your hands, and you won't be disappointed. But getting back, since Christian's here, we went and found your ass down there in Tampa and watched you play.
Hunted him down.
Yeah, hunted him down.
Because I didn't tell
Yeah.
you guys where I was going to be.
Tried to give us the slip.
Yeah, and look at us now, Dave, man, this is awesome. And yeah, that night in the parking lot when we talked around ideas and I had shorts on and it was 40 degrees, I was freezing my ass off. So,
The only question I
Tammy was
have is
sweeping the truck.
the only question I have is what took y'all so long?
Shit,
Yeah.
timing is everything. And I would say the timing of this bat, you coming on, even people like Alan coming on and his big, hard swinging ass. Timing of everything has worked out perfect for Short Porch. We love our people. Shit, it's a lot of fun, man. I tell you, man, I'm thankful for all the people we have. It's very well rounded in senior softball, and it's getting well rounded in the younger guys. We're getting there.
You can't tell me another company in this area, this genre. You tell me another company that's come as far as we have in the short time that we had, from a Big Daddy that Bubba flipped over his shoulder and said wasn't worth the crap, to a bat nobody's ever made before. And making softballs for a couple years is one thing, but getting in the bat business and Jeff having to build that thing from scratch. Nobody gave us anything. There was no, here's the platform, tweak it. It was, okay, you build it and we'll build it for you. And he did it. And now look where we're at. We got a bat that nobody designed, nobody's ever had before.
Well, that was one of the big selling points whenever I came along, was where you guys are going. And I saw, when I was doing senior softball bat reviews, I saw where you were going. And then the technology and everything that y'all didn't talk to me about, because whenever I got a bat from y'all would never talk about it. You just say, hey, test this out. And then I saw what you guys are doing, because I've swung every other bat out there, and I saw what you guys are doing. I said, okay, these guys know what the hell they're doing. And then 2 years later, I was talking to you guys, actually it all started with that phone call about that rumor, and then look where we're at right now. And then here's the deal too, guys. This is something that's going to be around for a while. This is something that DDT is going to be around for a very long time, because we're on to something that works and it's different. When you get it in your hands, you're going to feel it, and you're going to feel the difference. The only bat that I have swung in a long time in a two-piece bat that you pick it up in your hands and you feel that different. You feel that weight, kind of like in that connect.
Well, it is very different. It is new tech, and to get back to a company that's made moves. I'm sure Christian's going to be hanging out with Ricky Huggins and those guys, and Alan and them all weekend, and they can definitely they know a guy. He's not around anymore, but a friend of theirs. His name's Ray DeMarini, and he did the same kind of things a long time ago. And we wish he was still around, and I know he's buddies with a lot of them guys, right? So, or was buddies with a lot of them guys.
Yeah.
And this is how fast we're moving along, and this is why you're here and Alan's here. Nobody tested out more bats than you guys did over the last few years. Shit, how many bats do you think you had?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
I can't even count them no more.
Well,
Yeah,
in
and
that business like Alan was, when you're in that business like Alan was, you have swung a lot of bats.
Yeah,
when you're doing reviews. But yes, definitely, and I think everybody involved in this, I want to thank everybody involved in this to bring it to where it's at right now, and even all the way up to the Army we have. You gotta, they're pretty badass too, getting videos out, on a daily or every other day basis, and basically spreading the word. Todd Cox had guys swinging the bat yesterday, and the feedback I got for them is how fluid it was. Todd Cox was texting me last night late about he just got off the field, and everybody loved the bat, and they said how great it felt in their hands. But if you can build a product, that's another thing too. If you can build a product that feels so good when you swing it, it has extra weapons. And when I talk about weapons, that up the middle with that authority, having that barrel flex with that dual distribution, and you build a bat that actually, has a bigger range. It has a bigger range of people that it actually affects. I think that's great, because it's changing the market, because it's revolutionary. Nobody's ever done it before.
The DDT tech, we've been talking about it for a long time, but at the end of the day, man, we have a lot of signature bats obviously coming out this year. Nothing more hyped up than this, or nobody more popular than your ass. So, guys, Dave Velasquez signature senior bat two-piece, first ever two-piece signature is here. And it wasn't so short time ago that Dave didn't have a signature bat, and that was psycho in itself, I think. So congrats, Dave.
Thank you.
And we appreciate all you do for our company, and the bat is freaking amazing. So, and we are not going to call it the Sup 2 like everybody's already calling it. But if they want to buy it and call it the Sup 2, they can. We don't even care. We'll take their money. But we got some of that anyway. But I'll tell you, Dave, and I know you're not here, and we moved through this week kind of fast, and that wasn't really the plan. But so we kind of had prior engagements here with Boone's tournament this week. But I will say, you didn't get to hear all the phone calls we're having about people. They love you. They were excited about the bat, and just said, hey man, there were people said, I just can't wait to get Dave's new signature series, and didn't even ask the questions about the bat. They just said, Dave's signature series, I want to grab it. I'm a fan. So stuff like that matters. I think, Alan he got some of that when he launched his bat. And when you have people like that who have, friends or fans or whatever you want to call it, that will, want to grab the bat because your name's on it. Not everybody can do that. I think there's people out there that has their name on bats that people deter away from purchasing. Yeah. So again, that's a testament to the kind of people we have. So thank you. And I hate that you missed that, not being here and hearing them phone calls, because that makes you feel good.
Yeah. The deal about it is, Jeff, and I'm like, if you come back and I'm thinking about it, I'm glad the technology got out there. I'm glad that it wasn't wasted. I'm glad that we're putting something out there you know, and that's not necessarily the name, but I'm glad, you know, with the Dave Velasquez signature series, I'm so excited that the technology's there and
Yep.
everybody can benefit from it. And then give me feedback on how it's performing for them. You know what I mean? Because it will work. It is going to work, and it's revolutionary. That's what I'm excited about. Let's get the technology in the people out there's hands and have them benefit from it. And I thank everybody that actually reaches out, because guys, I'm getting what you're getting. I'm getting every other day on text message, maybe not as much as what you're getting. And congratulations. And I'm honored. I really am. I'm very humbled about it. I don't talk about it as much, you know, because the technology is there. And that's what my excitement is. The technology's out there for us to use.
Well, right now, everything's done, man. We've already moved through a pile of these DDTs, and they're going to be at fields everywhere. And I know Alan will be showing this shit off next week. And yeah, Christian, he's over 50, so in the Boons tonight, he's going to be swinging it. And man, right now, I mean, we just get to go have fun, and we're gonna have fun swinging the bats and talking to people about them, and that, you know, all the work's done, and it's time to kind of enjoy and celebrate. And again, we hate you're not here. I'm going to be in San Antonio soon, and man, we'll do some more celebrating then.
Sounds
But
good.
thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Congrats on the bat, and we'll talk soon, buddy.
All right. Thank you guys, man. Christian, Alan, thanks, guys.
All right, buddy.
Guys, they are on sale right now. And guys, that's just me. The name on the bat, I mean, I'm more excited about, I'm more excited, even with my last bat, right, the SUP bat. I'm more excited about getting the technology out there in you guys' hands. The way the barrel doesn't have any, that's done on purpose. The way the barrel doesn't have anything on it. I did testing on that. Come to find out, hand-eye coordination is a little bit better. I think you can strike the ball 10% better with nothing on the barrel. And with nothing being on the barrel, it has no flex. You don't have a decal keeping that barrel from flexing. I'm going to go through, I'm almost off here, guys, so y'all guys can go. I want to go through weight distribution. A lot of you guys are asking me about weight distribution. This is the 25-ounce bat. It is 16.5 on the end, and it's got 8.4 on the hand. 16.5 with an 8.4. Now, guys, you're going to get weight here and weight here, better trampoline effect. This bat compression tested at 190. Gentlemen, this is the same bat we had in Florida. It compression tested at 190, but when it says 190, don't think about the 190, because you have dual distribution that's flexing at 190, and you have Kevlar. It's different. The 190 is not the same as a one-piece bat or the ZOC composite. Kevlar is different, right? And plus with the DDT, it's different too, because you have distribution of weight, so it's flexing at 190 a lot better. 26 ounce, 17.2 on the end, and it's got 8.6 on the hand, 17.2, 8.6. So you're looking at it being a little bit 0.2 of an ounce heavier, which really, in my opinion, doesn't mean anything. And you have a compression test at 180, right? This is the same bat we used in Florida too, and we brought it back. I'm saying over 400 swings, 500 swings on both of these bats right here. 27 ounce, gentlemen. 27 ounce. It tested 180 on the 27 ounce. This is the one we had before we went to Florida and we swung it. And it actually was in Florida for you guys to swing. It's got 17.9 and it's got 9.1 on the hands. 17.9 and 9.1. Again, guys, don't be at that 17.9. Don't be afraid of that big mass on the end, because that mass is not here. Another thing, that mass is not here. That mass is here. So there's weight out of here put into here, in this area right here. So when you see 17.9, don't be afraid of that 17.9, because it doesn't swing like a 17.9. Clem has a 28 ounce. And what you have on that bat is an 18.5 on the end with 9.2 on the hands. 18.5 on the end on that 28 ounce and 9.2 on the hands. Guys, I'm excited. I am more excited. You know, the name on the bat is great. I love it. The name on the bat is something that, you know, we came up with. And I've always said this, guys. It's Short Porch came up with this. It's just an idea that I had, you know, 10 years ago, 12, 11 years ago, going on 11. It's an idea that I had and I thought it would work. What I did with Short Porch is gave them an idea. They developed it very fast. Within 6 months, we actually, I know, man, it's kicking my butt. But I'm over the flu. It's just a cough that I've been having. No, I don't talk about it. So it's something that I thought about, we thought about years ago, and then actually be put on pen and paper, and then actually be brought to us in a prototype. It's on Short Porch. This is where Short Porch is going. Guys, get on the website, order you one. You will not be disappointed, I guarantee you. Thanks, guys.